We can't afford food, we can't afford gas, we can't afford housing. No one's coming to save us. When asked to what extent did he factor in financial situations of the American people, he said, not even a little bit. I don't think about Americans' financial situations. Rising gas prices, rising food costs, rising housing costs, and he doesn't care about our financial situations. I don't care what side of the aisle you're on, this is bad. This is the biggest grift of all time, and we have been had. Well, you've been had, you voted for him 2 or 3 times. That's not the point. The reason...
Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. I hope you're doing well and having a great day. If you're new here, you are in the right place. Please take a moment to hit on the subscribe button and turn on your notification so that you never miss any of our updates. In today's video, we'll see how some people are now arguing that many white Americans who strongly supported Donald Trump are facing the effect of his economic policies, why many Black Americans have continued to push forward despite those challenges. We'll look at why some former Trump supporters are expressing regret, how the rising of prices, immigration policies, and other economic issues are affecting families, and why many people believe the outcome has been very different from what they expected. Now let's get back to the clips.
So it's clear that we are watching the fall of the American empire in real time. And there is a stark difference in the way that the white community is responding and how the Black community is responding. The Black community en masse has completely withdrawn. They fought, they campaigned, they warned us, and we chose the orange man anyway. And they're out. The white community, on the other hand, is fighting. Those of us who aren't under Trump's spell. And there is this real sentiment that if we can just get Trump out of the way, then we can all get back to normal. But the thing is, that's not what God is doing. And I'm not a nihilist, but we're missing the point. The point is this white supremacist system has wreaked enough havoc. Enough. And God is judging it. And the fact that we are clinging so hard to it makes me wonder, what does the Black community see that we don't, that's allowing them to totally let go right now?
I saw someone ask, why is it that racism is starting to be ramped up? Why is it that white people are more unhappy now that they've gotten everything they've wanted with, granted, gas prices is up, food prices are up, but, 300,000 Black women have been laid off. The Black unemployment rate is 7%. They got all the Black people, the welfare, they didn't cut the food stamps. DEI has been repealed. They can go and be racist. They're giving a fund to the January 6th. Like, in theory, all of the racist things that Trump has promised them has come into fruition. All of the economic things, no, but all the racist things that they have been so excited to get, and they're deeply unhappy. And they are lashing out. They're driving up to Black people, calling them. They're coming up and trying to intimidate Black people. They are so unhappy, and they got the man that they wanted as president. Let me tell you why. It's because they got what they wanted. And the reality of what an abject failure a lot of them are is staring them in the face, and they can't stand it. They thought Black people were going to get fired from these highfalutin jobs that these uppity Negroes didn't deserve. And they were going to, with their high school diploma, walk in and take a job that a Black person with an MBA, a Black person with a doctorate had. They thought that they were just going to walk in and become professors, wealth managers, investment bankers. They thought that they had to do absolutely, that they were just going to open the door wide open for them because they were white, that the companies were going to open up the doors wide open. Meanwhile, companies are
All right, so let me give a little bit of context, because a lot of times people spew a lot of nonsense and it doesn't make sense to you. The majority of the reasons why, and it's a bevy of different reasons, but why different people voted the way that they voted, because nobody is a monolith. But the majority of the reasons don't even have nothing to do with black people. Black people was not the main character that people were focused on, but they didn't want people to focus on race. They wanted people to focus on policy. And as far as policy is concerned, that's the one thing that she's right about in this video. Uh, and she didn't mention some of the policies that was meaningful to people. Had nothing to do with black people. One of the biggest things that I've seen people were complaining about that did vote for Trump and that he did execute on was benefits going towards illegal migrants that wasn't supposed to be in the United States of America, that was taking up resources and was taking up jobs from people that deserved them here. All right. I don't know where she got this from as far as, they thought that for whatever reason, because again, let's remember that black people are still only 13.6% of the population. And a lot of the jobs that they do occupy has nothing to do with STEM fields. It has nothing to do with wealth management, has nothing to do with any of that type of stuff. The majority of the degrees that black women specifically were getting were liberal arts, and they were things that was unrelated to STEM field, finance, and somewhat healthcare. But all of this other stuff that she's saying is a false narrative. I don't see anybody running up and calling anybody the N-word. I think that diversity, equity, and inclusion, what people were saying was they don't want anybody to get disqualified based off of giving somebody.
So, for the people who voted for Trump or have supported Trump, can you finally just admit you were wrong? Trump has spent his entire life bankrupting businesses, and now, surprise, surprise, he's bankrupting the United States. So look, we can move on, but if you supported Trump or voted for him, just please, finally, now, just admit you were wrong.
So Trump supporters, if you're not worried now about the economy, now is the time to be worried. Nebraska, Tyson Foods. They're the largest meat producer in the country. They're closing their Nebraska beef processing plant because of Trump economics. Cattle costs have risen $2 billion because of Trump's tariffs, and it has resulted in a net loss of $425 million in 2025 to date for Tyson Foods. So they're closing their meat packing plant, and 3,200 employees in this small town with only 11,000 residents are losing their jobs. 3,200 employees, and I can guarantee a vast majority voted for this. And it doesn't end there. Tyson is taking their 3-shift slaughter operation in Texas down to 1 shift. So a lot more people at their Texas facility are going to be let go. When you talk about big industries now being affected, not the small guy, but those at the top of the food chain being impacted and closing down, we are in a world of economic hurt. And this is just the beginning, because this Trump administration is not focused on fixing the problem. They keep creating more. And I got to tell you, just this Tyson food location in Nevada, there are so many suppliers, so many vendors, contractors every single day that did work for this Tyson facility, whether inside the building or outside the building. These are big contracts that these local businesses are now going to lose. So they're going to be affected as well. Expect more layoffs and bankruptcies downstream of Tyson Foods.
Mamá, por favor. Mamá, no me dejes. Mamá.
Tranquila, ya no llores, ¿sí? Mamá va a regresar. Solo se fue el trabajo.
¿Me lo prometes? ¿Me lo prometes, papá?
Mi amor, no te puedo prometer eso. Pero lo que sí, que voy a estar contigo, ¿sí?
One thing I love about some of these videos is the MAGA people that are making these apology videos for voting for this administration. This one is funny. It's quick. She's like, I just won't say I'm sorry. I have to vote for him.
I need to say I'm sorry. I voted for him.
I'm real sorry. I didn't know. I thought he was going to make things better for us.
I thought he was going to help folks like me. I really did.
Now I'm time to go home. I came back my groceries. I gave food my lights on. First of all, the groceries you shouldn't worry about. Anyway, I just can't believe it now.
They cut off my heat and help last week. I don't know how I'm supposed to buy groceries next month to keep the lights on.
Now, what about my diabetes? My diabetes, man, is acting up. Can't feel my foot, can't feel my feet, and I didn't even devour the new deal.
Now my SNAP's gone, my Medicaid's gone.
Get out of here. This is what you voted for. You voted because you thought black people were going to get f***ed, didn't you? Black folks, especially black Americans, have been living with nothing for the longest time. So surviving is very, very easy. Very easy. You understand? That's why black folks are playing it smart. We're moving as a unit. You know, other than some of the sellout, but other than that, black people are moving in a way where we're not even being bothered. Oh my God. Oh my God, the country's in shambles. Oh, they're being unfair. Black folks are like, yo, man, I'm going to Costco. What you about to do? So, hey, man, it is what it is. You voted for your own demise, and that's just the way it goes.
Donald Trump is ruining small U.S. businesses all across the country, right in front of all of us. The people who own those small businesses, you're not really hearing from them because they are literally drowning right now and trying to rescue themselves. But so many businesses have gone under. I personally know people who have small businesses and they did a lot of importing, and Trump's tariffs absolutely devastated them. Even when they got the money refunded back, the damage had already been done, and they're all shuttering their businesses. And the rest of you out there have cushy little jobs, and you think you're just fine, and you don't care about AI and all of this stuff that Trump has allowed to happen. But it's coming for you. Because if you work in information technology, you think, oh, I must be safe. Information technology, AI, artificial intelligence. No, not happening. If you do IT for companies, start looking for work. You're going to be replaced by AI. Almost everything is going to be replaced by AI. You know what's not going to be replaced by AI? Plumbers, electricians, roofers, realtors. It's too difficult. A machine can't do our job. Dentists, they are not going to be replaced because people will not want machines working on their teeth or robots. But here's Trump again trying to resurrect tariffs once again, trying to get around the Supreme Court's ruling that his tariffs were illegal. He admits it. This is just a long way around what the Supreme Court said he couldn't do. He is desperately trying to get these tariffs in place once again, which again will ruin another, who knows, hundreds of thousands of businesses across the country. He said the tariffs were going to help us. They're literally destroying us. Do your own research. Google it. Look it up everywhere. Look it up here on TikTok. Businesses are going under because of Trump's tariffs, and these new ones, they're going to do it way more than they did before. And I don't know if he's intentionally doing this, but you better watch out because they're coming for you.
These rural Americans in this clip voted for Donald Trump, and now they cannot afford to eat. He promised he was going to make these people's lives better and fix all of the problems they are facing. However, he has done the exact opposite. Everything has gotten worse.
How big of a problem hunger is in rural America? Spend time at a mobile food bank.
It's 90% of what I consume. And I don't keep the car running. I can't afford the gas, so I have sleeping bags to stay warm.
I still feel bad that I have to come up here and sit on a line, to get food. It's embarrassing as hell.
While Americans are struggling to afford gas, food, and rent, Trump has found time to do just about everything else except for his job, including giving $40 billion to Argentina. He's also found the time to demand $230 million in taxpayer money for himself. And of course, he's got plenty of time to destroy the entire east wing of the White House and replace it with a ballroom that's modeled after one of Putin's palaces. But he can't find the time or compassion to reopen the government or extend ACA tax credits that many of his rural supporters rely on to survive. This is what happens when leadership becomes a vanity project. Trump isn't governing, he is indulging himself. He's treating the presidency like a personal empire with luxury renovations and giving foreign strongmen billions of dollars. Meanwhile, his very own supporters are standing in food lines saying they can't afford gas or groceries. It's not like he doesn't have the time or resources to fix this stuff, it's that he simply doesn't want to or care.
Does America feel great again?
No, not at all. I can get laid off tomorrow, then I'm pretty much homeless. Because, you can't save now. Every dollar you have has to go to gas, groceries, bills, rent.
Does America feel great again?
Not in the way everyone wanted, with gas prices, and you can't afford to breathe at this point.
What does it feel like to be living in these conditions right now, in these economic conditions right now?
Hurt, very hurt. I try to do, sorry, I cried. I try to do a lot for my kids, and I can't do much.
It's hard, especially as a father, because you ain't got that extra cash to go and spoil your kids. So it's pretty difficult.
The middle class is definitely being affected. Yeah. Low class might as well, crawl in a hole because they can't afford anything. Drill, baby, drill just didn't go, I don't think.
You still can't beat inflation, no matter what. Well, it seems we never catch up, no matter what. We're always behind the 8 ball.
Breaking news, guys. A lot of white Americans are now crying and they are now saying they regret their vote for Donald Trump. Recall that during the campaign, Donald Trump literally said the reason why they should literally vote for him and not vote for Kamala Harris, which is a black woman, is because that she was literally going to start World War III. But it turns out that every single thing that he literally said that Kamala Harris is going to do is what he's literally doing. So a lot of white Americans, the Latinos, the Hispanics, the Haitian, the Mexican American, a lot of them are now crying and they're now saying, we regret our votes. Because right now we cannot afford food, we cannot even afford shelter. And right now, as of today, gas has skyrocketed to $8. Anyways, let me know what you think in the comment section. Do you think this is karma catching up on them, or this is just the economy playing tricks on them? I want to know, and follow for more. Bye.
We have some news right now. Horrible economic news for the United States of America again, as according to the Washington Post, bankruptcies in the manufacturing sector soar to the highest levels since the Great Recession between 2007 and 2009. And the reason why is directly correlated to a lot of economic uncertainty. In addition, it's also directly as a result of Donald Trump's tariffs, which he has imposed on numerous countries, hurting businesses here in the United States of America, forcing many construction and manufacturing businesses to declare bankruptcy in 2025. And this number is only set to continue to rise heading into 2026, assuming these tariffs are upheld by the Supreme Court, which it's anyone's guess what happens. But the economic numbers in the United States are as bad as they were back during the Great Recession right now when it comes to bankruptcies and really other economic factors. I'll provide you more updates as we get more information, so spread the word, follow along for all the news you need to know about.
As much as Donald Trump wants to blame President Biden for all of the horrible things that have happened since Trump took over, the truth is American workers and American businesses know exactly who is to blame for the horrible economic conditions under which we are now living. And that person, of course, is Donald Trump. And this week, we got even more, tens of thousands of layoffs from just one company because of Donald Trump's policies. UPS, one of the biggest shipping companies in the country, in fact, all over the world, announced that they were having to lay off 20,000 U.S. workers because of Donald Trump's tariffs. They say that the tariffs have, of course, caused fewer things to be shipped. When there's less demand, we don't need all these drivers. We have to let them go because we're going to start losing money paying salaries for people who have nothing to go out there and deliver. And again, they were crystal clear that this is all because of Donald Trump's tariffs. So these 20,000 people that had good paying jobs at UPS are now unemployed, and it's 100% because of Donald Trump. And that, of course, is just one company in 1 week. We have also seen more than 100,000 federal workers laid off. We have seen the healthcare industry across the country begin shedding workers, going all the way to the research departments at major health institutions. So scientists are being laid off, teachers are being laid off, colleges are having to engage in layoffs, other countries, automobile manufacturers are laying people off. The state of Alabama is losing hundreds and hundreds of jobs at the Mazda plant. And Texas alone has lost 3,000 workers in just the last couple weeks due to layoffs from a wide array of different industries. We are watching, in just a little more than 100 days, Donald Trump destroy what it took decades in some instances to build. And in 100 days, he's destroyed it.
So a huge congratulations to Donald Trump. It took Del Monte Foods 139 years to become a great, successful American business, and you destroyed it in 6 months due to tariffs of exporting and importing fruits to the United States, the cost of paper, and also a 50% tariff on aluminum, which is affecting canneries. Today, the 3rd of July, Del Monte Foods in California has filed for bankruptcy with the potential loss of 5,000 jobs. Folks, the source for this is Yahoo Finance. Congratulations, Donald Trump.
I need your help to save my farm and many other farms. I want to give you guys an update on what we figured out with our contractor, NRCS. So to give you some backstory, if you haven't watched the previous video, please go out, watch that previous video I've got on there. We are possibly going to lose our farm if NRCS doesn't hold up their contract with us on the EQIP program.
Annette Dombrowski is a 3-time Trump voter and a janitor at that Eastlake, Ohio plant. At the end of the month, on June 30th, she's going to be officially out of a job. MS Now reporter Alex Tebbett went to her house this week and asked her how she felt when she was laid off and whether she thinks Trump understands what she is going through.
I actually have panic attacks. I've had a couple this past week, and I get very emotional over it. I don't want to work anymore, but I can't afford to retire.
Obviously, President Trump is immensely wealthy, has been wealthy since he was born.
Yeah.
Do you think he understands?
No. No. He hasn't lived it to understand it. He sees it, he has not lived it. He needs to live it. Wear the clothes, wear the shoes, wear your Walmart clothes, wear your Walmart shoes. Do your thrift store shopping. Don't eat steaks. I don't get to go out to dinner. It's not an overnight thing, but it's been 2 years now. You said you'd bring down the grocery prices. Literally, I must be the most angry person when I grocery shop because I buy the same things every week, and I see it jump every week. It is not every couple months. It's literally every week.
Hey, ma'am, stop.
They can't just take my food away. We got kids. EBT's gone. What are we supposed to do, starve? Don't be surprised when we start taking it. People got to eat.
I am on the verge of bankruptcy. I'm on the verge of tears. Overnight, all of my help fled. My help, out of fear for their safety, their lives, they fled. And now I am left out here standing in my unharvested carrot field. It is January, and I'm in Kansas, and this is when carrot harvest goes. In Kansas, this field should be full of workers, but all my workers left. And who the do you think is to blame for that? Every single one of them left. Now I have to by myself try to fill that truck with a load of carrots in one day, and I can't do that, guys. I have to get these carrots to market by next week when my contract is terminated. This is $936,000 worth of carrots right here, and I can't pick them by myself. If they're unharvested, I will get kicked out of that contract, and I will get sued by.
I have an FAFO and FAO for the red state of Kansas. Yes, GM is laying off 900 workers immediately, canceling their second shift. Yes, they voted for the Trump administration and Republican. Yes, this is severely going to hurt Kansas and the surrounding area. This is one of many FAFOs that Republicans and MAGA have received. Just remember, they control the House, the Senate, the presidency, and the Supreme Court. If you did not hear yesterday on October 1st, the very bad economic news was the negative 32,000 jobs created in September. Also, unemployment is as high as 6% in some states. The government is on day 2 of shutdown. This is a major FAFO for those who voted for Trump.
We are all certainly lifelong Republicans, and we were so happy to vote for Trump in all 3 of his elections. However, we were certainly not aware that he was going to put a funding freeze on all U.S. aid 100% of our wheat produce is bought by USAID and shipped out of the country. So,
not me having my first panic attack in 2 years after completely regulating my nervous system because of the fucking price of food. It's Friday. I'm sitting here trying to figure out how the fuck to make my son and myself lunch. He goes to school. I work in a school. I don't have money to go get myself takeout even though I could. So I have to scrounge up something together. He's going on a field trip, and even if he wasn't, he has food allergies, so he can't have school lunches 9 times out of 10. And I literally am not able to find enough in my house to fill both our lunch bags. That's never happened. I am a working mother. I also receive food stamps. I have 3 fucking jobs and a partner with an income. So essentially we have 4 incomes and food stamps, and it's still not enough. When are people going to understand how fucked we are?
Throughout the video, we heard from people who once believed Trump's policy will improve their lives, only to later say they were hit by higher costs of living, rising business expenses, labor shortages, and also many business owners are crying out that they are going bankruptcy. At the same time, some says that many Black Americans, despite facing long-standing economic challenges, have continued to adapt, work through difficult circumstances, and build opportunities for themselves instead of depending on promises from politicians. Politics affects everyone differently, and that's why it's important to listen to different people on their own view about how the policy is affecting them. Some people believe the current economic situation is a result of government policies, while others see different causes. I'd rather love to hear what you think. Do you think Trump's economic policy have affected white Americans more than they expected? And do you agree with the fact that many Black Americans have shown greater resilience during these challenges? Your thoughts respectfully in the comment section below. Your opinion matters. If you enjoyed this video, please don't forget to subscribe, like, and share. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.